alcohol duty frozen. There's going to be a tax on vapes and a one-off tax on cigarettes. I don't know if I'm being really stupid. I can't see the amount that he wants to tax vapes.
Right.
I don't know if I've just totally missed that, but I did go looking. Maybe
he's just... Well, they're going to ban disposable vapes, so that presumably would have to be... It'd have to be a tax on the liquid, right? It'd have to be a tax on e-liquid.
Yeah. But we'll go into that in a bit more in a minute. Temporary tax cuts for the arts sector will be made permanent.
They always say, how many times can you say we're temporarily freezing alcohol duty, fuel duty? It's been frozen for years, bro.
Yeah, but you don't want to renege, right?
Yeah.
So you don't ever want to say we're abolishing or we're increasing the tax.
You also get to keep announcing it.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, we're going to freeze this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Every 6 months. So, it's temporary, but we're just going to roll it over.
Yeah. Well, let's actually start with the alcohol duty freeze then, because that's I think this is, so they were due to go up in August and now be frozen until February. That is going to benefit nearly 40,000 pubs up and down the country. But the hospitality sector are really upset about this because that's a brilliant headline, right? Yeah, your booze is going to be cheaper. But if you're running a pub at the moment, you're being hemorrhaged by increased rents and energy payments. Like the energy payments are leading to pubs closing down up and down the country.
They'd probably rather have further cost of living support, right?
Yes, they would like a relief fund, particularly because some ministers like to sort of get onto the narrative that pubs are like a community hub.
Yep.
And that they're a community centre and places where people can go during the day because there might not be a lot in your town. So why doesn't it fall under, this is ridiculous because obviously you can't have a taverna being like like a council run institution or whatever.
They should be.
But if you know that older people are going there and it would cost you money to set up a centre if there wasn't a pub, then there is an argument that you should be part funding it.
God, I love a fucking taverna, A little bit of moussaka, maybe some cleftico.
Yeah?
Yeah, God, yeah.
What about those vine leaves? I can imagine you being a vine leaf man.
Yeah, what are we saying? Dolmades? Is that vine leaves in Greek? No, meatballs. What are they called? No, I think it is called that. Anyway, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Just like a long afternoon. Mm-hmm. Cold beers, small plates.
Small plates.
Welcome to London. Welcome to Amy Lamé's London.
Yeah, it is.
What's the London night czar got to say about this? Well, she's been having a bad week, hasn't she?
Since you brought her up. I'm furious about this night czar.
Are you?
I'm furious that she got a 40% pay increase last January without meeting any of her KPIs.
She must be doing a great job.
Right. When has anyone ever seen the London night czar on the media round? When has she ever been out there talking to the media?
Well, maybe the reason she doesn't do that is she's doing it now and everyone's like, shut the fuck up.
Because she's only come out now because her reputation is being rightfully trashed online. Her one job, and this is specifically said by the Mayor of London in City Hall during questions on why have you appointed a night czar in 2016. Her one job was, among many, but for emphasis, is to be a relation between local councillors and local businessmen and local residents, and basically make sure that institutions like clubs and pubs aren't being shut down or losing their licensing because some busybody next door is complaining about the noise. She's overseen how many closures in London?
Yeah, all these venues talking about, right, that are saying, very good on the alcohol fuel duty. How about stopping the venues from closing down?
Yeah.
There's tons of them.
Just, a little point here for the new Evaristo Club, which is Trisha's on Dean Street. Soho institution, right? It's been there forever, since before she was born. And then one millionaire 2 streets away decided it was a little bit loud, and Westminster Council entertained this and threatened to take away their licensing. Now, big campaign happened and it meant that the club didn't shut. Where the hell was she during all of this?
I feel like the night czar, it would be a better appointment if they weren't a Radio 6 DJ. And don't get me wrong, I like her show. I'm a bit of a Radio 6 guy, as it would happen.
Surprises me.
Because you are a wanker. That's the wrong appointment. They need like some fucking licensing nerd. They need like a council, an absolute weapon. Do you know what I mean? A proper, you almost want to take, it's kind of like I don't know, like Anakin, like in Star Wars, right? You want the guy who was once on their side, but now you fucking weaponize them, and then you're turning this guy who's rejected pub after pub, club after club. He shut their licenses down. You've turned him to the dark side. You've given him half a gram, and he's gonna get these clubs back open. He's saying, "Fuck you, Westminster Council. I'm sorting it out."
Yeah.
Amy Lamé, I feel, is like the wrong appointment. I don't know.
Even on a more practical basis, what she should be doing when she comes in every single morning is she should have every single licensing disagreement that is going on in the capital on her desk, and she should be asking her advisors, what's happening with this? Should I go and speak to the local council? Let me go and talk to the landlord. Let me go there at 10 o'clock at night and actually see if it is unreasonable levels of noise.
That's probably a good go-between, right? Between the Labour mayor and the Labour-run councils. You kind of see that would be the thing to do.
She even had the audacity to reply to an independent article and say that it was a total lie that she only works 2.5 days a week. Now, Amy Lamé, I looked up your job spec, okay? I looked it up. And you only do work 2.5 days a week.
This poor woman,
if you work extra days, fine, good for you, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But that isn't your job spec, so don't call the independent a liar.
Yeah. Well, she's come out fighting, and it's backfired. Increasingly, I think of sort of our entire national culture, right, is previously you would have said that like London was quite homogenous, was kind of the place where the big acts would go, where the heart of culture is. And increasingly it feels like London is basically just this space where it's like it just serves an economic purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's like a WeWork. Like people just come here to work and then leave. It's like, oh yeah, well you can have pubs until 10 because you all want a pint after work. But if no, don't go out until 3 because you won't. There'll be some productivity losses the next day. You know what I'm saying?
We want you in for your Pret coffee.
Yeah, have the Pret coffee. Have 2. Maybe even get a subscription, but no more than 4 pints.
You know what else you should have done?
What?
Why did we have that one glorious summer when Soho was pedestrianised?
Oh.
You don't need to drive down Old Compton Street.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
And we had tables all over the street.
Yeah, sick.
The restaurants
Al fresco,
had
darling.
We did. We were al fresco.
We were.
And we had no diesel.
We had a piazza.
We did. We had a piazza.
Yes, we did.
We had a piazza.
Where did it all go wrong?
It was like Venice.
It only took a pandemic. Yeah. We got waylaid. We did the first point. That was pretty good. But the big one. Let's do the big one. Let's do national insurance. 2p. How much is that going to cost? Quite a lot, presumably.
So it's going to cost £10.4 billion.
Yep.
And almost half of that ends up in the pockets of the richest fifth of households, where only 3% of the poorest benefit.